れたあの場所、記憶の地図をたどって泳いでゆけそうだね。そっと手を取って引き寄せられる、見えない力の渦、ひらりひらひらりと運命に沈むの。振り返らずに深く深くよどむ空の下で、光一つ一つ咲かせましょう。ほろりゆくまでに翼広げて Fly away, fly
The end of life, as we know it, is here. For man has strayed from the path. I shall incinerate them with the earth. And from their ashes, a new world will be born. Let us bind a deal between us. For you shall attain my heart's desire. Now reach out your arms and receive me. Know the truth and record it, for it shall fill the coming world. As long as corruption exists, the flame of destruction will come until we attain true enlightenment.
Yes, I can smell it on you. You have it. The Book of Prophecy. Just as he predicted. It has finally arrived. Hand over the Book of Prophecy. Do so, and I'll spare your life. Fool! I'll pry it from your dead fingers.
Not so fast! Woohoo! Feels good to be out!
Who are you?
My name's Rimpo, the Fire Guardian Spirit. And as for you, you're not laying a finger on the Book of Prophecy.
A spirit? What could you possibly do to me?
No, not me. The kid here. Come on, let's you and I go deal with this goon now. Face it, the Book of Prophecy will make it easy. Let's do this.
Mock me? How dare you?
Hurry, go on, take out your sword. Don't tell me you don't know how to use the book. Well, guess I can't blame you. Seems it's all up to me. The great Rimpo will have to teach you how to do it. Yo! See ya! Yeah!